Answer and wind, the same wind yet stinking of pigs. Rose or the pollen which makes one cough, cruel, fantastic, unlike anything else. To have no need for the apparatus of the operating room, to be safe from all bodily harm, to know love without exception, to be a saint in any form. When I was like 4 years old, I used to walk through forests and feel completely free. The animals I communicate with, it's like a pony would walk up out of a field and talk to me. I just felt telepathic with everything. I felt like in tune with the universe. And all my life, I've been trying to like get back to that freedom. And then I discovered when I was about 12 years old, 13, art. And art was a great revelation to me. And then all my life, it's like still that freedom I had as a child. You know, I didn't want to, you know, learn about grammar. So it was very hard for me to write. So I had to study Henry Miller, study Mickey Spillane, study Burroughs, study Rimbaud, and learn just how to make a sentence. I studied T.S. Eliot for his rhythm, his music, you know. And I listened to Jujuka tapes. I listened to the tapes of Berbers. And then I listened to the great primitives, American rock and roll. And then the Rolling Stones, I started listening to the Rolling Stones, and I studied all these people to be able to get me into a rhythm where my word and my body connected. And I was writing poetry. You know, I started writing the poems in my first book, Seventh Heaven. I used to put the Rolling Stones on, get in my typewriter, Blaze and Drawers. He was one of my favorite, the French. And I get into a rhythm, paint it black, you know, and start writing, you know. Start writing in the rhythm of the Rolling Stones, but I'd write my own language. And poetry was the most releasing drug for me. Because of it. Talking about my generation. I was very poor when I was young, and what always concerned me was like the richness of my imagination. I mean, material things, they just didn't matter. What mattered to me was developing my mind, you know. When I came to New York, you know, to be an artist, I had no money, no friends. I slept in sidewalks, I slept on the subways. The cops beat me up, I had no food. But like, I was so happy, you know, because like, well, I guess I was romantic, but I read all these books about Brancusi, Diliani, Rimbaud, all of them. None of them had money. All poor, all struggling, all having barely the money to buy a notebook to write their poetry, all having to write their poetry on, you know, grateful for this, you know. Oh, paper, you know, papier, you know. My first book I got no money for. They skipped out of town, you know. Poets don't make money. I mean, it's like they never did. It's like they're scourged, you know. But like this poet's gonna make money. I mean, I make money because I work hard. I make money because like I work night and day. I worked night and day in a factory, I made money. I worked night and day when I was a thief, I made money. I mean, when I was a young poet, had no money, I became a pickpocket. I learned from Janae. Janae didn't make money being a poet. He made money being a pickpocket, you know? That's what I had to do, you know? It's like you do whatever you must do to keep doing your art, but you never sell your art. You never, you can prostitute your body, but never your art. Money! 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 Coming out before I go to sleep. If I make money from my art, it's a blessing. I mean, the money I make from rock and roll, I give away. I recycle. It's very important. I devote my money. I send it to Ethiopia. They're having a famine, you know. Ethiopia was good to Rimbaud. I'll be good to Ethiopia. I give my money to new rock bands, you know, like all these young rock bands in New York. I'll give my money to St. Mark's Church when I get money. I mean, I'll give my money to poets, you know, I do. I give my money to young people who are making new cinema magazines. I mean, to keep it going, to keep the life force going. I mean, I get into things, you know, like the other day, I made a lot of money. I gave my mother money, I gave poets money, I had money left over, so I went to the store and I went to this real fancy place where they make mink coats. I had them make me a mink motorcycle jacket. You know, it's like a dream, you know. But I mean, I could do without it. For me, it's like fun, you know, it's like a fantasy. But if I never had anything but this coat, I had this coat since I was 16. I'm 30 years old. I had this since I was 16. It's all I need, you know. I mean, if I have money, great. No money, it doesn't matter. I have my mind. My mind, my imagination, you know, my energy is like the most valuable thing to me. Money cannot buy it. Andy Paley on space, temporary space, space replacement. Ivan Krell on guitar. J.D. Doherty, drums.